Welcome, everybody out there in Kids Are Talking Land. My name's Michael. We are here with episode 23 for the year in review. This is going to be a great show, as always. We have three of our returning panelists here. We're going to talk about what happened in the last year, what's to come in the next year, and all of the exciting stuff in between. If you're watching, please comment on the chat thread on your favorite social media. And the panel would love to hear what you have to say. So we'll try to bring that into the discussion. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can stay tuned and up to date with all the latest episodes. And with that, let's get the show on the roads because kids are talking.
I think that we should probably start listening to each other.
I really just want to hear everyone's different perspectives and let everyone know that they're not alone because we're all going through the same thing. And, you know, if I can inspire hope in any of the listeners, that'd be amazing.
Not only to get what you want in life, but to do things that you want to do to influence the world in the way you want.
It's also very important that you go out of your way to educate yourself. And by watching the show and watching other things and reading things like the show, you are doing your job for that.
Love over hate. There's more love that needs to be out there. First, being empathetic, compassionate, and have a thorough discussion. People listening with compassion and openness is going to go a long way.
Everybody's always going to be struggling with mental health, yet nobody will know about it. A lot of students, a lot of children aren't really given the resources they need. Things are just getting worse, so I think it's really important to try and spread the message. Just get that, extra 5% of feeling secure in their person.
Dr. Don? Can y'all hear me?
And the real person who did that is here tonight.
So
and I can hear, and Whitley, I can hear you.
we can hear.
Yeah, that's a surprise because that's a new opening for us, and it's so crazy watching Whitley say "Dr. Donahue" here reminds me of the ADD show that we did that was a big hit, and Whitley took over the show, and
that was a good show.
That was such a great show.
I can't believe that we're 23 episodes deep, and we've come so far, and we have panelists returning. We have so much on the table, so much to talk about. I'm just impressed that we've managed to make it this far, and we're heading full steam ahead into 2022.
Dr. Don's tired because not only am I tired from all the things that we've heard and listened to and been inspired and moved, but everything that's going on in America right now, it's been a hell of a year. And we picked three kids to come on tonight to close down the year because these three kids represent what makes me proud of Kids Are Talking. They represent Kids Are Talking, and they have all three of them shown the country what really this show's all about and who they are, and what an honor and the ideal show. Thank you, Norm's Whale, my friend from Santa Fe, who's one of our big supporters and fans of the show. He actually suggested that we do this topic tonight, and I was thinking, wow. Thank you, Norm, for being the supporter you are, the guy who came up with this show tonight, and because he's such a creative, wonderful friend. And I feel like let's just take all the time we can with these three to really get into the psyche and mood of the end of this year and what we have to look forward to as we move into the next year, 2022.
All right, so let's bring out the panelists. We have Benjamin, we have Ben, Whitley, and Jesse coming in. So let's see.
Ben, Whitley, Jesse, you all know each other. That's also nice. That's the other thing nice about Kids Are Talking is that we've been able to form bonds and relationships in history on this show where you're the Kids Are Talking alumni now. It's like, there was the Mouseketeer Club and now there's the Cat Club. And the three of you I'm honored, touched, moved by everything that you have brought to me and to everybody that's watched you this year. And when it came down to thinking about who would come on for this final show of the year, it was the three of you for sure. And so thank you.
Yeah, I definitely put my vote in for you guys. So
yeah, Mike and I are on the same page. I got excited once I had the subject, we were thinking, what should be the last show of the year? My God, a New Year's show. I mean, a resolution show, a chance for you all to give your own insights to what you've learned, where you are, where you feel the country is at, and where you see your resolutions in the future. And the LA Times just today, here it is, Dr. Don's here's our starting point. 8% of Americans, only 8% have followed through on their New Year's resolutions of last year.
Wow.
That's 8%. So you guys are going to have a chance tonight, ladies and gentlemen, to state your own New Year's resolution. And Mike, we're on the line too. We have to also say what our resolutions are for the new year.
Okay, I'll save mine till the end.
We're saving it all. We'll save ours for the end. But I think I'll start with the three of you about what do you think of that statistic? What does that say?
It's not great, but it's pretty accurate from what I've seen from like my friends and family and myself. I mean, it's always good to try, and keeping your New Year's resolution for a week at least is a starting point.
For a week, right? At least for a week, right?
Yeah, that it shows you're trying. It shows you're trying.
It shows you're trying, right, Mike? We're trying, right?
I always try to say, don't make a resolution that you're not going to keep, and that makes it harder to make a resolution.
Yeah.
Right.
So what about you, Ben and Jesse? What do you feel about that 8%?
A lot.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jess. Yeah, jump in. It's just the three of you tonight.
I'm not surprised. People set high goals for themselves, high standards for themselves, but they don't put in the time to actually do it, or their goals are impossible. And it really goes to show you how important goal setting is. Maybe they don't know how to measure their goal. And I mean, I have my goals. I typically don't achieve my goals, but my New Year's resolution is to make more friends. And I'm going off to college that year, so I think that it is a very realistic goal, because I think I'm going to make friends. So, see, I lower the bar for myself. So
And by the way, Jesse, those things that you just said, I know are true about you. Those things will happen for sure. And how about you, Whitley? You want to pick up on this wonderful lady over here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to make goals that are like realistic. Like one of mine, I think, was to for this year was to write like one page in a journal every day, and I don't have the time or patience for that. So maybe once a week would have been a better goal, like something that's doable but an improvement on what I'm doing now, which is like every time I remember, which is once every 3 months. So I think it's good to set goals that are like reachable, but something that you like want to do also.
Yeah, I think that's super important as well. And like, I think that 8% statistic is pretty accurate. But I think like what Willie just said, of like choosing goals that are like the general goals, you know, exercise more. I think those things are important. But I think in terms of like setting goals that you actually accomplish, it's just setting goals that you enjoy doing. And that's like super subjective to everyone. But you know, if you've never been in the gym before, it's great to set that as a goal to go there more. But you know, if you are a really big fanatic in terms of you love making food, I think that's honestly a better goal. If you already like making food, then make better food for yourself, make healthier food. You're going to be so much more likely to follow through, and actually following through on maybe a little bit easier of a goal is so much better than not following through on a really difficult goal. So I think that's another important piece to it, is just choosing goals that you enjoy doing.
You know, Jesse, I know this guy you've had this very interesting dynamic, a really beautiful thing I think is developed between the two of you. So when Ben talks, there's always, and you too, Whitley, we'll get to you in a second, there's that smile when he talks. I always see that smile on your face when you listen to him. Like what happens to you?
I listen, and sometimes I agree, and sometimes I don't. This time I do.
This time you do. Yeah, that's Blaze, their dog. I'm having a lot of good time with Blaze tonight. That's Mike's dog, so he wants to be part of the show too.
Oh, can we see?
So Blaze is licking me right now. Hi, Blaze. Say hi to everybody. Okay, Blaze. Yeah, so that's right. Sometimes you and Ben have agreed, and sometimes not. But I really enjoy the energy between the two of you, and I just want you to
Thank
know
you. Ben and I can start a fight if you want.
We can. Yep.
Yeah, we probably will.
that. Oh, maybe not today. We'll have to say. I have no idea. It's so much fun because I was thinking, with everything going on in the world, which is so disturbing in so many ways right now, I said, if I had to spend a night tonight on live stream TV with people, I can't. I mean, this is this is one of the first times I feel like I'm just hanging out, really hanging out, with no pressure, because I just know you could be in my living room or in a restaurant with me, and it would be a very similar show. And Whitley, how about you? When you hear Ben, I see you have the same. Ben does that to the women, I guess. I don't know. He seems to make.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He does, huh?
Really a ladies' man.
He's a ladies' man. So what is it about Ben when he talks and you hear what he has to say?
I don't know. He's very charismatic. Like he's very good at this. You're good at you don't say and a lot, which is what I do. You're good at talking. And what you say makes sense.
Thank you.
Ben,
You're welcome.
this Kids Are Talking has been very good for you in many ways, right?
Yeah, it's been great.
So, right? I mean, it's to dial it down, Ben. You've been the real positive force on the show. Of all the shows we've done, controversial, sometimes really deep and heavy, and sometimes gets critical. And you always seem to bring in that positive side. You've been right, Jesse. Ben comes in with empathy, and
he's always smiling no matter what he says.
Always smiling, always about empathy, right? So help me out right now, Ben, because I am actually struggling with my mood of 2000.
Well, Don, I have to say that we do have a comment from Norm.
Norm is bad. Oh,
he wants to know, what is the New Year's resolution for our show?
Oh, Norm. Yeah, so Norm is by the way, Norm is my friend from Santa Fe who came up with this idea. We can all love Norm because he watches all our shows. And I guess we owe him an answer to that question.
I would say at least part of our resolution should be to listen to his advice for future shows.
Yeah, Norm, that is for sure. And his critiques as well, because he does have, I think, Norm, you're happy to say I only have 3 kids on the show with me tonight. So I know you're a big fan of these intimate kind of shows. So that one of my New Year's resolutions for the show is to have shows like this on subjects that nobody talks about. We have so many more shows to talk about that will bring depth, interaction, and also a lightness of being. I want to do a show on disabilities. I want to do an ADD show again, Whitley. By the way, for all that you know, when Whitley did that opening, that last little comment, that was because I said ran the ADD show because we went off the air for 15 minutes. I think there's a big demand to do another ADD show, ADD Part 2.
We also have someone wants the other panel to come back. I think they're talking about the Class of 22 panels, what they're referring to. So,
the Class of 22 panel
yeah,
meeting.
we have a question from YouTube said, when's the other panel coming back? So the other panel they'll be back when they want. So we're going to rotate through lots of panels next year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we're going to do a lot of shows. We're hoping to actually do a show at the Westport Library. I want to get out of the studio actually and get live,
like old times, right?
Like the old times, but stream you on from wherever you might be, so you can actually interact with people in the Westport Library, and we can have an audience, and it would be more like the old Phil Donahue show.
Yeah, the Westport Library has I think it's like a 12-foot screen behind the stage, so we could live stream with a group of kids on stage, and then have a couple of you guys streaming behind us from wherever you're located.
And then Dr. Don could go out into the audience with his mic like Phil Donahue, like I used to do in the Norwalk school system, some of the high schools, and go to the audience and get questions. So we're going to go on the road. In 2022, Kids Are Talking is going to go on the road wherever they want us. So, Norm, I hope that gives you an answer. Again, I love you. You're one of my best friends. And again, thank you for helping us have this show tonight. That's such a great idea. And, before Norm came onto the questionnaire tonight, I was about to talk about my mood again, about 2021. I am tired. My heart is heavy. We've had school shootings. We've had tornadoes, at least 10. More kids getting shot. We've got COVID coming back. And I want to feel hopeful. But it's just like, what has this year been like for 3 young adults, high school kids? What is it like for you to have lived through 2021, and what have you learned? What has the show done for you? jump in. Give Dr. Don some therapy. Who wants to start?
I can.
Go ahead.
For me, a lot of it's trying to focus on the good things that have happened this year. Maybe not overall, like for the country or like vaccines or anything like that, but just like personally, what good things have happened in my life. And also just, taking advantage of every day and not taking really anything for granted. Because, like we've learned, like you never really know when things can come to an end. Like, and last year in March, whenever we had to do school like virtually, I definitely had taken like being actually in school with my friends for granted. So I try and focus on the positives and not take anything for granted.
And what was your show this year that you liked the most, or what did you learn the most from Kids Are Talking this year?
Honestly, I'm gonna have to say the ADHD show. It was really fun. As much as I love having you here leading the show, it was fun. It was fun to get to ask some questions to the other kids because I was curious. I was like, hey, what do you think about this?
You were absolutely amazing. I mean, I was a nervous wreck because when we went off the air, Mike had to like calm me down. I figured we lost the audience, show was gone, nobody's watching anymore, and I come on and there you are running the show. It was like one of the highlights for me this year. And I met your boyfriend this year. We met Whitley's boyfriend, by the way. We even had a show with Whitley and her boyfriend. Had a show with Whitley and her mother. So you have been here, and that's great. And how about you, Ben? Where do you come into this mood of 2021 and what you've learned and where you are and what's happened for you on Kids Are Talking and in your world?
Yeah, I mean, I think just that theme that Whitley talked about, like gratefulness. There's so many things that have happened this year to so many people, and just being able to wake up in the morning is a really special thing that we really, really can't take for granted. And I think that's like and I think there's a really big difference between like toxic positivity. Maybe Jesse and I can get in a little debate about this, but I think just being able to wake up in the morning is the easiest way to just to be a little happier. Is just knowing everything that goes on in the world, and that you still can wake up in the morning. We all have families that love us. Is just an awesome thing and a really easy way to make your life a little brighter. And my favorite episode, I think, was the social media episode. I had a lot of fun there.
What was it about that show, Ben, that did it for you?
It was like the heatedness of it was really awesome. Just really getting into it. it was really cool. It was a good feeling.
Well, you were very big on empathy this year too. I mean, that was a key word for you, right? Which is a very important word, right? And social media is not always empathetic, although you always had right, Jesse, you always had a positive bent on social media, right? You were able to turn that into something good, right? If you have empathy and a positive attitude, social media can be useful, right?
Yeah.
So Jesse, so go ahead. Yeah, Jess, go ahead. There, you've heard from your other two buddies over here.
Yes, I have. I agree with everything Ben said about waking up and feeling grateful. It's kind of how you wake up. Kids Are Talking has given me a voice, a place to say what I think, uncensored, with people that can relate or can't relate, and we could talk about it in a space where we all feel valued and all of our opinions are heard. We don't really interrupt each other. It's not like debating with your friends at school. We're all very professional, we're mature, and that to me is something we don't get in most environments that kids are in. We are not taken very seriously, even though if this year has taught me anything, it's the power of youth and youth voices, especially with Greta Thunberg, all of the student advocates that are going on, and that to me, Kids Are Talking has given me a way to show how serious I am about making change in the world. And I really cannot be more grateful for you guys.
And the autism show, I know for you, the autism show that you were on was a very personal show for you, and you met some people, and autism touches you because it's right at home with your brother. And the Anti-Semitism show, you were also amazing. That's something really important. But you said the autism show for you was particularly meaningful, correct?
Thank you. Yeah, those were both of my favorite shows, although I loved every single one that I'm on.
But you particularly like those. And what was it about those two shows, particularly the autism show?
think it was all of our communications together and how we were also open and all had a personal connection and were so empathetic towards each other because we all knew the situation we all were in. Because even though I have an autistic brother and that person works with kids with autism, we both are sharing this connection, whereas with other things, we all have different experience. And this one is a shared experience through different lenses.
And what about the anti-Semitism show?
I really like the people I was with. I cannot talk bad about the ADL. They are so kind to me, and I really love those girls. And I really do enjoy talking about it. I have a lot of thoughts, and I want to reach as many people as possible because that's how I believe we make change, by reaching people with our stories.
Yeah. So what do we do in 2021? How do we improve it? I love your attitude, your positivity, and actually the mood I'm in, I could use some positivity because although I like to think positively lately with all the things going on, now the COVID thing's erupting again. The shootings have really affected me, and so and then the parents. By the way, we never got a chance to talk about. We did a show on guns and violence. We didn't get a chance to really talk on that show about what happened there with the school. Big theme this year on the show. Where are the schools? The schools need to do more. They need to be more tuned in. Mental health, right? As a matter of fact, I heard a story today. My wife was telling me about a friend of hers. The kid is suicidal. Can't get into a hospital. I don't know I forgot what state they were in, but I think Washington D.C. actually. They cannot get in. The kid is sitting in an emergency room hallway. So we've talked about that, and mental health, of course, big, very big. Yeah. But parents and this thing that happened in the school, in Michigan, parents on the run. How did that affect you? Because the whole issue, let's talk about that one because that one's very much on my mind. The school, the kid goes at 10 o'clock in the morning, gets called in with the parents. You probably know the story, I hope. And they asked the kid to go home there 48 hours, get some mental health help. Apparently the gun was in the bag. I hate to bring you guys down. You're so positive, but I just haven't had a chance to talk to any of you about this. The kid goes back to the classroom and shoots up the school at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Parents on the run. Parents are part of it. So what do we do? Because we got to improve on that. And so that is the reality that we've had in 2021, correct? I would like the wise input of the three of you in terms of your own insights and feelings about that, how that has affected all three of you. So each one of you, I'd like to speak. Benjamin, you want to start on this thing? I really want to talk about it.
Yeah, sure. By the way, comment section, interesting. By the way, please don't spoil Spider-Man. I'm trying to watch it this weekend. But anyways.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man's out. That was big last. You watched the movie show last week. You watched the kids talk about Spider-Man?
Yeah, Mattman from YouTube said he wants us to talk about Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. So we'll do a little Spider-Man. Go ahead. Do we need Spider-Man to save us now, Ben? No. Is that what
I haven't watched it yet. I'm trying to watch it this weekend. So ideally, Mattman, don't mention anything about that specifically.
No, we do need heroes. Ben, we do need heroes, though, don't we?
No spoilers.
We do need heroes. Yes, no spoilers.
We need heroes.
Yes,
so
we do need heroes.
Maybe in responding to my mood, you can kind of bring in the Spider-Man heroic archetype of the myth of the hero. Maybe there's somewhere in that conversation. We're all looking for heroes. So what's your response to my mood and what I've been talking about? These are certainly issues that have come up in this year's show.
Yeah, parenting, like we just talked about with what happened in Michigan, parenting is so important. I really, really think that for a lot of people, the people around them, when they're a child and growing up, really plays a huge role in who they become. And for the wide majority of people, that's the parents. And so I don't believe that anyone, is inherently a bad, parent. I think that a lot of parents, though, can work on certain things, whether that's not like being, well, first of all, being like bullying your child is not a good thing at all. But I think there are some other things that are maybe less severe, like, reframing mindsets to being a lot more open to what your kid wants to do with their lives and things like that. I think parenting is just such an important thing, and we've seen how that can, how they parent can turn out to be really detrimental, not just to the kid but to the community. What happened in Michigan, and
Yeah.
I think that's a huge thing that's going to continue to be evolved over time. And we all know that all our parents have obviously or likely impacted us and made us who we are today. And so I think that at its core, by just helping to educate parents and really just go from there, is going to play a huge role in terms of building better kids and better humans.
I have a question,
Sure,
and
go
it
ahead.
kind of puts a bow around everything that's going on in the YouTube chat as well. Is do movies like Spider-Man and all of these vigilante superheroes, is that what affects people like Kyle Rittenhouse and other kids that are going, try and the three men that were just convicted of murdering the guy that was jogging? I mean, is there a vigilante culture from movies that's influencing kids and people, or is that like coincidental?
Um, this is a tough one. I don't think a normal human could watch Spider-Man and then that could turn them, into a vigilante. I think this is kind of similar to the social media that we talked about a few weeks ago. I really don't believe that a normal human can watch a movie. So I think there's something there that the movie might have amplified it, or same thing with stories. There could be a feeling, and then you could read a story about something that could amplify that or make it more possible for you to do it. Um, and I think there's a good argument that could be made that movies and stories can amplify that and make people possibly more violent, do these type of things. I think though at its core, there's something that's aside from the movies, like social media. It's
Yeah, it's
it's
always
not
happened. Yeah.
it's not creating something new. A movie isn't going to turn a regular person into a murderer, but it can turn someone who maybe had thoughts about that and have them cross the line.
Well, Ben, you'll like this. I'm such a romantic that when I watch movies, I'm looking for my hero. I'm looking for the person that's going to save the day. Okay, I'm looking for
Exactly.
the romance, the hero that saves the day, and that's part of why I was talking about what we're talking about now. Is that I'm a romantic idealist, so I'm trying to like see the good things, like that kid who shot up Michigan. Should we have some compassion for him with the kind of parents he had and the way the school handled the situation? I mean, why wasn't that kid getting treatment? Why wasn't he getting mental health? That's a question for all of you. I mean, jump in tonight, the three of you, please. Just jump in. I mean, do you have compassion for this kid at all? I mean, he with his parenting, the way the school handled his mental health. Where do you draw the line on with all of this?
I mean, it's really hard. These things are like it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, he should have gotten help. I think that there could have been more done to get the kid help, but like you can't just like shoot up a school. Like you can
Yeah.
only feel so bad for someone, especially considering what their actions were and how that affected everyone around them.
So he's probably going to go to jail for a very long time, even though he's a young kid. And you feel that that's okay. Or does he need mental health? He certainly needs mental health treatment.
He needs, right, of course, whenever he goes, if he does, which he probably will, he'll need to get the help he needs.
Jesse, what do you think about where this is all going in this conversation?
I don't want to judge someone whose shoes I've never been in, but at the same time, like Whitney said, I think there's a limit to what your actions can get you. And being depressed is reason to go to a mental hospital. It's not reason to shoot up a school. I don't know what was going on inside of his head. I do feel bad for him, but it was irrational. And in my mind, from what I know about it, it was an irrational decision.
Well, for sure, it's an irrational decision. But what about how many shows have we had this year about the schools? And
I mean, a
schools,
lot. It's called Kids Are Talking. Kids go to school. we're
go
good
to
at talking
school.
about schools. It consumes us. We're there like 8 hours a day.
Yeah, so I hope educators are listening to this show. I hope parents are listening to this show. I certainly feel that that's an audience we want to reach. How does a school let that kid go back to class? And we've talked all year about the school not having enough mental health, not having enough of a tuned-in network into what's going on. And that is the most important place. That's where you go to work every day. That's where kids around America, that's where you work. What do we do about that in going into 2022? I'm frustrated. Help Dr. Don.
Our offsite director said we should be talking about goals and aspirations.
They say we should or we should not.
Norm said the conversation needs to talk about goals and aspirations for 2022.
Norm,
he's trying to put a positive spin on the show.
Norm, we're getting there. Okay, we're going to get to there. Okay, but this is also, we're also evaluating, Norm, what happened in 2021. But maybe, all right, Norm wants to. You think Norm's right? Should we change the subject and shift into?
Well, apparently this is his co-directed show. So
all right, so
I think we should take into account
a
lot of bad stuff that happened in 2021, and let's spin it and say, well, what can we do to make 2022 a better year for everyone that's suffering?
Well, that's what I was actually trying to do, but to be maybe Mike's being more direct and Norm's being more direct. So go ahead. I have no need to control the conversation. So go ahead, Dr. Don is open to go that way. Let's do it. There's the question. It's right on the screen, right? Thank you, Norm. So there you go. He thinks the show's going down the wrong path. Let's talk about goals and aspirations for 2022. Let's make Norm happy. All right, Norm, go ahead. Jump in. Too bad you can't call us from
my goal is to make friends, and here's how I'm going to do that. I am going to reach out to people. I am going to be the first to talk to people. I got into college, so I have been reaching out to other people who are going to that college, and I have been trying to make friends. And I think I have been doing a very good job. How's that for positivity, Norm?
That's pretty good. I still would like to know what we're going to do about the schools and the teachers and mental health, but that answer's fine, Jess. Okay. Look at that. Who else wants to?
I'll get on that later. We'll let everyone else.
All right. Well, we're being very fair here. That's very respectful. You've always been respectful, Jesse. So, Whitley, why don't you jump in and Ben on that one? Let's all make Norm happy. Let's make Norm happy.
For 2022, I'm going to try to be more like social, I guess, get to know a lot more people, because I'm also going to go to college, and I've realized that I have a really, really good friend group recently, and it's going to be hard to leave them. And so I'm going to have to like make myself get to know other people wherever I end up. So I'm going to try and, go and do a bunch of things and get to know people. But I'm going to try to write more, because I really enjoy looking back at like my old journals and seeing like how I was 3 or 4 years ago. And I feel like it's important to kind of have that like sense of self and just overall have more of like a positive outlook on life.
This is definitely a positive group. I mean, and that's really what we need to do, is bring this positive energy to the world, right? So let's stay positive then. Ben, you've always been positive, so this should be an easy conversation for you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest resolution for next year is just to do a lot more. And this is super general, but like to just execute things a lot more than discussing them, planning them. To just do it, put it into action. That's it's very simple, and it's very general, but that's my biggest theme for this year, is to just do, not plan so much, not talk so much, just do.
And don't get so depressed and down over what's happening. Only try to make a difference, right?
Yep.
Right?
I think I need to be more positive. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, that sounds good. Jesse, you want to jump in again? Go ahead, because we got plenty of time and room for you to just keep giving your points of view.
Hi. Yeah, there was a comment that said, "Hi, Jesse. Please turn your computer off. If you don't like me on here, you can stop watching." I like doing this. I enjoy talking. And it seems like Dr. Don enjoys having me. So I'm going to stay for now. Thank you so much for your input. And I hope that you make some nice goals for 2022.
Yeah, you have other support. You have other supporters in the chat, so don't worry about that.
Thanks, Jesse, guys. Love you.
Jesse, was that? Let me ask you something. That's kind of amazing. Is that an ouch moment, back to the Anti-Semitism show when somebody comes at you that way?
No, I'm kind of just assuming KF's a troll. Maybe I know them. If they want to reveal their true self, they can reveal their true self, but I don't really care about their opinion. It is somewhat of an ouch moment, but I'm not hurt by that whatsoever. Thanks, boss. Boost boss. I'm a girl boss.
So how do you?
Yes.
That's pretty impressive, right? I mean, I thought it was kind of rude and disrespectful. Not even kind of rude. I thought it was rude and disrespectful. But you
He
certainly
is getting you 100 messages today. He is getting you a little trophy.
Oh yeah.
It says on the Red Stream IO, I've received 100 messages. He's just giving us attention, Dr. Don. He can't even.
Ah, okay. So Whitley, you're what's that little? You go girl? Is that a go girl?
Oh yeah. No, I feel like Jesse handled this very well in a very mature adult fashion.
Very impressive.
And I'm like super proud of you.
I'm
I do not
too.
know many
I would have
people,
just
if
ignored
anyone,
it,
that could have handled that better.
Wow. Well, Ben, what do you think of your Jesse, on that one,
Amazing. I feel very proud of Jesse for it's and this goes back to the theme for this entire year. Empathy.
It's in the moment.
Whoever
it's right in the moment.
Yep. I mean KF, whoever that is, I wish you lots of love this year. I think Jesse and Whitley and Dr. Don all do as well. Lots of love. Yep.
Well, there is a lot of that out there, but I guess what I'm hearing from the three of you is we know how to disarm that with our positivity and self-confidence, right? And our empathy. The Buddhist people would love you. Wow, is there an echo? There's an echo on my mic?
Yeah.
I'm echoing, Mike. Oh, the echoes of COVID, which is my new poetry book. I hear it's gone now. It's not in the mic. Thank God. I don't need any echoes tonight. I have enough echoes. Yeah. Wow. So what makes that happen? There are a lot of people out there. Like we've had a lot of shows about that too, right? So what's our aspirations, staying in the norm theme? What's our aspirations to deal with adversity? What do we want to do in terms of this? There's a lot of that out there. There's your social media, Ben, right? So what's our aspirations? Maybe we just lived it out about how to deal with that kind of negativity that's out there and hatred, right? I guess we did it, right? Jesse did it.
Yeah, you gotta just say it's not acceptable. And it was a little comment. I just wanted to address it because it looked like this person was trying to make a joke, and it really wasn't funny. Next time, maybe they should try harder. But you got to address this stuff when it comes up, or it's going to keep snowballing until this troll or hater gets attention. So, got to stop it while it's young.
Anyway, it's a cowardly way of not really letting us know who you are. That's how I'm going to look at it. How's that?
People hide behind their username.
But I'm going to protect and defend, and I'll tell you, I'd rather hang out with you, Jess.
Thank you. I'd rather hang out with you too.
Yeah, and heroes, Spiderman. So heroes. Who are our heroes in 2022? Who do we want to look up to? I mean, we certainly want to look up to ourselves and feel good about ourselves, but what do we want to look up to? What do we want to follow? Spider-Man was one conversation, but what do we do to look for our heroes? For me, I read, I listen to great music, have great conversations like this, go to a movie, and look for people that I want to really feel make me. That's what inspires me. So, I don't know. Who do you all want to look up to? Who are your movie stars? I don't mean that literally. You don't have to really answer it that way.
For me, really, it's the people in my life mostly that I look up to. A lot of my friends and a lot of my family members are just very strong people. And I don't mean that in like a physical sense. I mean like in like a mental, emotional capacity. But also a lot of the times whenever I read, I find book characters that I just aspire to be like. I actually wrote one of my college essays about a book character that like changed my life. And I feel like
please tell.
it's there's a book series called Throne of Glass, and the main character Aelin, she's very strong and independent, and she stands up for what she believes in, and she's unapologetic about it. And it wasn't really a New Year's resolution. It was after finishing the book resolution was to try and be more like her, to be unapologetic for who I am.
So Jesse lived that literary character out for you tonight, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There you go, Jesse. There you go. That's pretty cool. And how about you, Jess? What would inspire you in terms of who you would look up to in your models as you move into 2022?
I mean, this is like so cliche, but I don't really have a role model. I have aspects in people that I admire and look up to, like people who are unafraid to say what they say, like bravery. People like you who are entrepreneurs, who are trying to give kids a voice. That to me is a trait that I really admire. So for me, like that's something I really do admire in you, and that way you're like a hero to me. But
thank you, Jesse. Thank you. That's very
I with Whitney, strong women all the way. And yes, J. Cole, sure. I'm enjoying the comment section tonight, I gotta say.
Me too.
Oh yeah, this is one of the best comment sections that I've seen.
Really? Wow. Well, please educate me on that. Tell me what was so great about it today. Which comic section are we talking about?
Hey, we can bring the comments into the show if they want.
What can we do, Mike?
Let's do it.
Comments will appear onto the show now next time they pop in.
What's that?
Nice. There's a lot of talk about Spider-Man, and
but I want to hear about this. I want to hear about this comic book. What about this comic book that you're talking about? Did you all read the same comic thing today? I'm confused.
No, the comment section.
Oh, the comment section.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said comment. What about the comment section?
Oh,
the
no,
comment
it's
section.
just funny. It's just funny. They look like they're having a good time, and so am
Yep.
I.
Yeah, they're enjoying the show. I mean, that's
You know
what
what?
it's all about.
Our audience is jumping in, so that's what we want on Kids Are Talking. So hooray for the 23rd show, that the audience is jumping in with you all. It's better than a comic book. That's comments is much better. And wow, look, a lot of activity, Mike.
Yeah, they said it's a classic Dr. Don moment right there. You have a fan in the comments.
Well, that's nice.
Booze boss. Yep.
That's really good. What do you think, Ben? What do you think, man?
I love the comment section. By the way, we have lots of love for you, Dr. Don. The comment section said something otherwise. So we love you, Dr. Don. And yeah, these comments are pretty cool. I mean,
someone wants to know what about 2019?
Yeah,
I guess.
What about 2019?
Well, I think he's trying to say, like we went from 2019 where the world was pretty much normal, and then we went through this whole whirlwind of 2020, and 2021 wasn't that much better. So I think it's, what's it like living through that? I mean, that's and where are we going? Is this? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
By the way, thank you, Ben.
In 2019, I thought that I was like, okay, well, this is what my life, this is what the next 4 or 5 years are going to look like with high school and college. Okay, so it's not quite what you were asking, but anyway, 2019, kind of thought I knew what life was going to look like, and then everything went crazy.
Just like you sound just like the promo.
Yeah.
Everything went crazy.
I guess I repeat what I say.
No, I love that. I felt like I was just watching the promo again. Yeah, everything went crazy. Tell us more about how everything went crazy.
With COVID and just doing school virtually, I stayed online a lot longer than a fair amount of my friends. So it was kind of weird having them in school and me not being in school. But it just goes to show you can't really plan for things. I feel like every time I try to plan for something unexpected happens, and the plan turns upside down.
So you got to learn how to just be organic and treat it all as a process, right?
Yeah.
How about Ben and Jesse? Jesse, you want to jump in on the 2019 comment or not?
So this is actually a cool story. I was cleaning through something, and I found this letter I wrote myself. It was like December 31st, 2019, and it was writing about the year. And then at the end, I wrote, "Here's to an amazing 2020." And I thought that was pretty funny.
Wow.
Wait, Ben, do you write yourself letters at the end of every year? Is that like
I did that once? Well, because I think writing myself a letter every year. It's hard to build that as a habit because it happens every 365 days. I didn't do that. It's buried somewhere now. I just like found it. I don't do that anymore. I wanted to, but I just forgot.
But writing is coming. Writing is a good thing, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, it's a great thing.
Writing. I mean, you brought it up, Whitley. I mean, boy, there's a lot to document right now. We're living through a lot of. I mean, it's inspired me to write a whole book of poetry. So, man, I mean, creativity is a way to express what we're feeling is really helpful, right? And so we went 2019. We're going 2022. God knows what 2022 is. What is 2022 going to be like and look like? Man, I don't know. Jesse, what do you think?
2019 was a year. Anything else?
There's nothing more you want to say about 2019?
Wait. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Finish up, Jesse.
Go ahead, Mike. You go.
Nothing specific I want to comment on, though.
No. Mike, what do you want to say?
Boost Boss wants you to give us a sneak peek on one of your poems.
I agree with that. I agree with that comment.
We want Dr. Don poetry inspirational quote for 2022. Let's go. Let's hear it.
You don't want to have any of my poetry in front of me. You want a one-liner?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you remember what's one of your favorite lines? Yeah, you don't have to remember the whole poem, but one of your favorite phrases.
Well, I have a good one from a very early poem that a lot of us have learned to live by. The hermit who lives without a permit, tax-free, no MTV, no more Regis and Kathy Lee. The Hermit Speaks, one of my early poems. Little did I know I wrote it like God knows how many years ago. But boy, if I learned how to be a hermit without a permit and learn to live in my own soul and my own self and not depend on anybody but my inner sanctuary. So
my favorite line.
That's it.
My favorite line from your poetry is fate happens at its own rate, never too late.
There you go. Well, you've inspired me. Maybe I'll bring some of my poetry into the new year. The echoes of COVID, I wasn't prepared for this tonight. I just finished a whole new book, but I like to rhyme, I like to rap, but I like to express what's inside me, and it has certainly helped me stay sane. There's nothing better than getting it out with a pen. And Mike, you always liked that poem, didn't you?
Yeah, that was my favorite. That was my favorite one of yours so far.
There you go. I could say something about Donald Trump. Does everybody want to hear?
No, we don't want to talk about Donald Trump.
We don't want to talk about Donald Trump. Yeah.
That was a good poem you did. You did such a good job.
Oh, thank you, Jen.
Buy your book.
Did I cover it? I came
10,000%.
I came to the plate. All right. I'm glad.
Yeah, everybody check out Dr. Don on Amazon. It's Dr. Don Cohen, Memory Man Productions.
Oh yeah. Well, this is I feel very loved. I feel very embraced by you all, and wow, it's good to be loved. It's good to be acknowledged. It's good to be appreciated. It's good to be respected, right?
Yeah.
That would be an aspiration, is to earn people's respect and to be respectful of others, right? I mean, that would be, I learned something it was Eunice on one of the shows actually this year when she said, I always thought you had to have self-love before you could be loved. But remember, Whitley, I think she said something about sometimes when others love you, you can learn it helps you to love yourself.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool that she wasn't necessarily telling you have to love yourself before other people love you, but the connection I feel with you all on the screen, and I feel like you're here. I can't believe I'm Zooming because I love when we used to do it the other way, but it's amazing that the three of you, and Mike too tonight, I feel like a family. It feels like communal. It feels like this is how I want my world and life to be as I move in. I want to be around people that make me feel good, that are positive. I already am in a better mood than when I started tonight because of you all. So thank you for that. And it really is pretty moving. Pretty moving. I mean, thank you for being just beautiful souls you are, really. The first time I've gotten this emotional in 23 shows. And, it's because of the three of you and Mike, you too, and the journey we've all been on together. It's really, I'm just, Mike, bail me out. I just like can't get over it. I mean, and your parents. I mean, I was thinking like you guys are Whitley, you and Jesse. You're leaving home. You're leaving mom and dad,
Yeah.
right? How's it feel? We're gonna miss you, but we're gonna be able to still have you on the show next year. That's the beauty.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's your
It'll just be a
2022
different background than my wall.
What's that?
Yeah, I'll still be here. It'll just be a different background than this wall.
Yeah. That's cool. And you too, Jesse. You said the same, right?
Yeah.
And Mike, what were you saying?
I just said for the two, Ben, you're not a senior, right? Ben, you're yeah. So for two of our panelists, I mean, they're going to spend the first half of 2022 at home and the second half on the next leg of their Kids Are Talking journey.
And Ben, we know, is going to be right where you are, right, Ben?
I'll be here for a while. Yep.
You live in your own home school, right?
Yep. Homeschool. So I do everything here.
For those of you that don't know,
how's business? This is
how's business? Ben's the CEO,
he's
right?
a
That's right.
CEO, yeah.
Some of us haven't gotten. Some people haven't met you before, Ben. Yeah. How is the CEO businessman doing at home?
Really good. By the way, to answer Mount Man, I do play video games, mainly like sports stuff. Going really good.
All right. What's your gamer tag? You got to announce your gamer tag if you say that so that they can find you.
I made my gamer tag like when I was 8, 9. So this is a while ago. But my gamer tag is I'll say this once. It's like Diamond Dog 817. I think I used to play Minecraft. So that was my
okay, so watch out for Diamond Dog, everybody.
But yeah, things are going good for business. A lot of really exciting projects. Benjamining. Yes, thank you.
Oh, he's giving you a new username. There you go.
Oh man,
I like that. Benjamining 101. Very good. Thank you, Bosbos or Booze Boss. Thank you for that. I love the comment section, by the way, today. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the comment section, Mike, has never been this active. First, I thought we were talking about comics. That's how good my hearing is. I mean, I'm not used to it. Last week too. What's going on? The comment board is.
These are our fans. Listen, we have a whole new group of Kids Are Talking fans. They want to be part of the conversation, even though they're not on screen. So
this was a goal.
We're building a community here. You know,
this was a goal. I have chills because on the 23rd show with my 3 gems on the screen. Witness Kids Are Talking. It's now. It's on the screen. Wow, it's really, really amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's like this was our dream, Mike, right? And we have a lot of really good things that are coming up, and we're getting much more support now. We've had some good news tonight that there are some people now that are going to be backing us. By the way, I want you all to know this, that we are actually going to have some sponsorship that we have built up for now that is going to be able to help Kids Are Talking up its ante. And I literally just found out about that on the way here tonight. So we're growing and evolving, and you 3 really, really made a difference. That would not have happened without any of you. And I wanted to discuss, because I'm a basketball fan. Norm was on the screen, by the way. I have a two-handed. People don't know if I have a backhand and a forehand. I hit a two-handed forehand in tennis, by the way. Very few people hit a two-handed forehand. And Norm was on the screen. He wanted everybody to know that I hit a two-handed forehand. Did any of you see Steph Curry break the 3-point shooting record the other night?
No.
Did any of you basketball fans? All right, so Dr. Don just put it right out there. Sports inspire me. They when I see a guy like Steph Curry, like he's a Baryshnikov in sneakers on a basketball court, the creativity of the human condition and any way you can express it, whether it's a Baryshnikov dancing, an Emily Dickinson writing poetry, whatever it might be, that's an inspiration for me, and I want more of that in 2022. I want to see it in movies. I want to see it in music. I want to see it in sports. I want to see it in Kids Are Talking. I want to see it even in American politics, if that's possible. I want to see it everywhere. I just want to be inspired. That's what Dr. Don has to say. Hooray.
Yeah, I saw a trailer. There's a football movie coming out on Christmas Day. I can't remember what it was called. It was 2 words, and I think the first one was American something, but it looked good. So there's a movie for you.
Movies do it, don't they? I mean, movies, it's,
Yeah, it looked very inspirational.
And last week we had a really good show. We had a bunch of kids on, quite a few, too many for me, 8 of them. maybe 9.
Oh wow.
I have 9 kids, but they all were. We talked about movies, and Spider-Man, as you saw tonight, is still in the room.
American Underdog. That's it, Whitley. The American
Oh, it's
Underdog.
the
Yes,
American Underdog.
that's what it is. Thank you for
Oh.
finding it for me. That would have bothered me all night.
Well, we certainly like. Do you all like underdogs? I love underdogs. I'm always rooting for the underdog. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
So maybe kids are talking. We started off, Mike, as underdogs.
Yeah.
And then all these kids came on this year and started talking about all these issues, and all of a sudden we're not underdogs. How'd that happen?
It's growth, Don. We're growing just like everybody.
I guess we're all trying to grow, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, each one of you, because we always do this on Kids Are Talking, and Whitley, you're going to go first. What do you want to tell the nation tonight in terms of 2022 and aspirations and resolutions? What do you want to say to your audience out there tonight about what's coming up in the new year? Norm probably would like to.
Yeah. For New Year's resolutions, keep it something doable, but not like to get out of bed every day. Make it a little bit of a challenge, but something that'll be good for you, that you know you can do, that you want to do. And just try to remember the good things. I've seen people write down some of their favorite moments from the year and like put it in a jar, and at the end of the year they read all of them. I've seen people do like a picture a day, or like a 10-second video a day, or I have a book that's you write like one sentence every day, and it's like a 5-year book, and it's really cool. But just, I don't know, stay positive and be thankful for all the good things that happen and learn from the bad things.
Beautiful words from Whitley, one of our star players in 2021.
And
Jesse?
to answer the comment section, the show definitely is a favorite moment for me.
Wow. Well, that, as far as I'm concerned, is as good as it gets. So thank you again to the comments of tonight's show. Wow. Jesse?
I'm sorry, Benjamin. I'm going to be a little bit long, but I'd like to tell everyone a lesson that I learned in 2021.
Go ahead.
So after my transfer back in 2019, I found solace in sites like 4chan and Parler where neo-Nazis harbor. And for a while, I believed them. I believed that if I hated first the boy who did this to me, I would love myself. Then I realized that the neo-Nazis were wrong. And I was like, what if I hate everyone else? Then I will love myself. I was wrong. What if I hate the administration for letting him say those awful things to me? Will I love myself? I didn't. And then I finally deducted, if I hate myself, I will love myself. Because at 14 years old, my reasoning was absolutely fantastic. And so for a while, I really hated a part of myself, my identity, that I wasn't able to take away, simply because I was harassed for that aspect of my identity. But in 2021, I started to address that part of myself who believed that I was less than and I was worthless. And that self-love journey has really, really taught me the valuable but cliche lesson that only love can drive out hate, and hate can't be driven out by other hates. So thank you. I agree. Neo-Nazis are like bugs. And it took me so long to get that aspect of my life and that toxicity out of it. But I am so grateful that I did. And if there's anyone that is going through a similar thing, just know that you're not alone. And you really, whatever it takes, letting it out. I bottled up my feelings. I didn't tell anyone. It was really only recently that I started talking about it. And that has been the ultimate form of self-healing, which is why shows like this are so great. And just admitting that it happened, recognizing it, and embracing that aspect of your identity is exactly what we need to do. So that is what I learned. And that is what I hope everyone in the audience takes away.
Jesse, I have chills running down my body. I can't even begin to tell you how moved. Oh my God, that's just incredible. Thank you. I'm just, wow. You are something else. A blessing.
It's great that you just have been able to get such a handle on your own life perspective. I mean,
wow.
For someone, a senior in high school, and you already have that understanding, you're well beyond your years for a lot of people. So,
wow, Mike, I tell
bright.
you, I mean, I've been feeling emotional lately, but wow, you're doing it to me tonight. I love you all. I love you, really. Wow. Wow.
We love you too, Dr. Don.
We love
Oh,
you.
oh my God. I don't think I want to get off the air tonight, Mike. I like being loved like this. It's nice to love and be loved. And Ben, it's your time now to give your word.
All right, let's do this. So, culmination of everything I've talked about on the show, like all or ever since I got here a few months ago, as we enter, and especially reading the comment section, as we enter this new year, one, just lead, like I said, with gratefulness and understanding how fortunate we are to be able to wake up in the morning and be able to meet with awesome people, talk to amazing people, be loved by people, and all the opportunities that are out there. And then from there, also through empathy in as well. I mean, I'm reading the comment section. We got to have a lot more empathy. Understand that everyone, is going through something, and not to respond with more negativity, and just really try to spread positivity. That's another huge thing going into next year. I know that a lot of the world is in chaos. It feels like everything is, falling down, but just do your best to try to add some positivity to the world. Don't try to add on negativity. Lead with a lot of empathy, and just be grateful.
I think we picked the right kids tonight, Mike, to
Listen,
give us hope for the
these are
future
our.
of America.
I think these three kids together have probably been our top three panelists. So it was a perfect selection to have them here. And I mean, what else do you want? We have a crowd in the comments that are collaborating with us. We've got kids that want to participate. We have positivity. We're spreading the love. I mean, a lot of people have been, obviously with everything that's going on in the world, people are scared. People are, it's the worst year ever. 2020 was awful. And I mean, I feel like we should just learn, life goes on. If we've made it through the last 2 years, we can make it through anything.
So, Mike, we owe it to these three and to the people watching our show. What is your New Year's resolution?
Well, I don't know if a lot of people don't know. I have a lot of hobbies, and I don't really have enough time for all of them. And now Kids Are Talking has now become one of my biggest hobbies. But I definitely want to spend more time making art and music next year, because I feel like that part of my life has been neglected. That's a great form of self-expression, and I truly enjoy it. So I want to do that to just bring more positivity to my life. And the more positivity I have radiating out, the more hopefully I'll spread out to everybody else. So how about you, Don?
One of the things, because I just finished my book, my poetry, is to get out with three of you, and you too, Mike, got out tonight, is to express my truth of the heart, to get it out there in my writing, with my work as a therapist, with my work as the host of Kids Are Talking, to spread, as Ben says, that the feeling of empathy and love, and help people realize that they do matter. And the only other thing, of course, I want to stay healthy, and all the people I love to stay healthy. And I want to improve my tennis game. And just love more and more deeply, and live a creative and inspiring, hopeful 2022. And hope that I can view the world and feel more hopeful now that this is our future.
Listen, I think a good chunk of the comments are from the last panel, the movie panel. So they want to come on and do some of those guests want to return and collaborate with this panel here. So wow. I think that we will make that happen for 2022. We're going to have or 2020, 2022.
And that, thank you all, you people that came on the screen tonight, the chat room, and the comment room, and becoming our new, bigger, growing Kids Are Talking. And I want to thank, we have some sponsors that are going to be helping us next year. And we just found that out today. So anybody that is watching the show, be excited about the fact that Kids Are Talking was given a huge gift, literally right before the show. So we're all going to reap the benefits of that to expand our horizons. And I wish everybody, all of you, the world, not just the United States. Peace, health, and happiness. Happy New Year. May you all have resolutions that you can meet. And if you don't, it's okay. Also, at least fire up the goals, fire up the hope, have poetic hope. And from all of us, our kids are talking, from a very emotional Dr. Don, who's right now, my body is like tingling all the way down to the bottom of my feet. I love you. We love you. And we'll see you in 2022.
We'll see you next year, everybody.
See you next year. Stay in the back. Come on to the back room, guys.